right, brother. Start cleaning those tires up. Green this time. Remember, they fan out down there, so protect that bottom. Sunday drive. All right, boss man. Hey, car's off. Be ready. All right, bud, be ready. Get ready. Ready. Green flag. Green.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Inside Pass, another week of motorsports talk. I am Randy Miller, Tom Baker, and Chris is
I will fight
pointing.
you, Noah.
Why? What happened?
Ding!
Oh, did you hear that?
Jeez.
What did? Oh, I.
What a
I
way to
didn't
start.
We
hear
couldn't hear it with the headsets,
Whatever
but I
it
saw
was.
the thing pop up right
There.
Oh, Lord. Anyway,
It was on the laptop.
We'll get a chorus of dings going on.
Randy Miller, Tom Baker in the
Carol
studio.
the
Noah and
Bell.
Peter are both here this week, so the gang's all back
well,
together.
can
So
tell.
us are here.
there's so much love in this room.
They all dropped
Love
out of college or failed, and now they're back.
Oh, okay. There you go. I'm a dysfunctional mess right now. So.
Well, we're all a little bit dysfunctional messes, so
Noah's spent all day in the car
Yeah.
going, I'm in there yet.
we can be a whole group of dysfunctional messes.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things to uncover tonight. Two fantastic guests on the show as well. We've got Fast Pasta, Anthony Alfredo, coming on the show to talk about his rookie season in the Cup Series as he does battle with Chase Briscoe, and that's unfortunately a one-sided battle right now. He's got a heck of a deficit to overcome for the Rookie of the Year battle. And coming up in the second hour of our show, we're going to talk to Rajah Caruth, who is a young up-and-coming kind of iRacer turned, late model driver, and he's got some, I think he's got some ARCA starts coming up.
Well, and 3 Xfinity starts.
And 3 Xfinity
With
starts, too.
Tommy
So
Joe Martin.
I believe he was in
Yes,
Martinsville
yes.
for the Valley Stars.
He
300.
was, had
Yep.
a motor issue, unfortunately, so it kept him out of the race. But he'll talk about that, too.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all
Rogers
of that
again,
as
too.
well. We'll break down everything that happened in Las Vegas this weekend, and lots of things to uncover there as well. We've got IndyCar, we've got F1. Some champions have been crowned over the weekend in the Wheel of Modifieds. We've got a fantastic battle for the championship going on in the USAG National Midget Circuit. 1 point deficit between two drivers, which we'll talk about as well. Fantasy NASCAR. We've got a guest announcement that I'm really looking forward to. I told Tom before the show started, so we'll let the boys in on that as well. But really huge guest coming up October 18th on our show, so stick around for that announcement as well. So we've also got another guest announcement coming up, too, in a couple of weeks. So
That's
that I'm
two
really
guest
excited about. 2
announcements.
guest announcements coming up. And I have the book of one of them,
Yes.
which I'm dying to read about, and we'll talk about that, too. So we are going to step aside, take a break. We'll come back and break things down. And from Vegas, when we come back on the Inside Pass. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer to fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorycustomtrailers.com.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
What an awesome game.
What's up with your car?
I don't know. It won't start.
How are we getting home?
Chill. My parents signed me up for the roadside assistance from Lewis Meineke. It was free with my oil change. They'd come and get the car started or get us home and tow the car to the shop.
Good to know. With my driving, my parents never know what to expect.
When you join the Meineke Car Care Club with a $35 preferred service, you get 4 free months of roadside assistance, including tire change, battery jump, lockout service, towing, and more. Contact Lewis Meineke, located on Route 1, or call 827-2054.
When do you think of a plumber? Like most people, even if it's an emergency, you can be confident about who will arrive to help you. For quality and reliability, count on someone you can trust. Call on the plumbing services of Hague Quality Water of Maryland. Plumbing doesn't have to be an emergency. We handle all kinds of preventative maintenance too. Hague Quality Water of Maryland is family owned here in Annapolis since 1993. For a refreshing choice, call us at 888-84-WATER or visit us online.
Hey, I'm Howie DiSavino, and you are listening to The Inside Pass.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass. We had Howie on a couple of weeks ago, and he went to Vegas this weekend and did a pretty decent job. He had some tire issues and stuff like that, but still a learning curve for Howie, so he'll get it figured out. And we continue, of course, to pray for his family after he lost his mom last week.
Yes.
We wish him the best. And I think, does he have any more starts this year, or is he done?
No, I think that's it for him for this year, at least for right now.
All right, so we're going to break down Vegas. Speaking of Las Vegas, I guess we'll start with the Truck Series since they raced first on the docket. And pretty good race overall. Second consecutive week of a first-time winner in the series as Christian Eckes finally gets a win. Driving for Thor Sport in the 98 machine, the machine that he partners with Grant Enfinger on. But something tells me that that win means he might be a little bit closer to making that ride a full-time ride next year.
Well, Grant has an announcement coming up next week, I heard.
He does.
So we'll have to wait and see what that is, I suppose. But my guess wouldn't be that it probably wouldn't be back in the 98 full-time, but who knows?
I've heard a rumor of what it could be. So we will see. I've not been told, but I've heard rumors that he's taking Sheldon Creed's spot at GMS.
Oh, that'd be great for Grant.
Wow.
I
would approve of that message if that's the case.
GMS did tease something on Twitter with a yellow truck, so we'll see if that's champion.
I think his champion's coming with him.
Interesting.
To go to the 2-car.
And obviously, Eckes said that he's trying to work on a possible full-time opportunity with ThorSport, so maybe he'll...
Well, I mean, when you win a race, you kind of make sure, kind of make your stock go up a little bit.
You get a truck, and you get a truck.
Christian should have won about 5 or 6 races at least, I think, in his career, between the time he drove for Kyle Busch and then, with ThorSport, whatever. He's had the worst luck, and so really happy to see him finally get that. He was very emotional after the race, and it was just good to see first-time winner.
Well, Duke Armando should be happy that the trucks finished 1, 2, 3, 4
How about
for the first time ever in history.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had 4 of their. Well, I think they had 5 trucks in the field, so 4 of the 5 ended up.
Did I hear the stat that it was the first time in Truck Series history that had even happened?
Yep.
Yes. Last year,
Richmond.
Correct. ThorSport scored the first 1, 2,
3. That's right.
Trucks.
So,
I was kind of secretly hoping that Hendrick would do the same thing, because then you have a 1, 2, 3 finish in all 3 divisions, which would be really cool. But
the same thing.
Their pit strategy messed all that up for them. But we'll talk about the Cup Series in a little bit. Let's talk about that wreck though. Speaking of Sheldon Creed, his wreck that he had with Chandler Smith, that was an incredibly hard hit. And you can look at the replays all day long. I mean, obviously, when people are spinning out things like that, you can't really see through the smoke, and he just gassed it, and Chandler happened to be there, and man, that was a hard hit. Yeah,
that started when Tyler Ankrum, his truck got out from underneath him. Yeah, and I feel bad for Tyler. I mean, but to his credit, I mean, he took full responsibility and didn't really felt bad, obviously, for Sheldon because they're teammates, but felt bad for everybody. But that was a big deal. I mean, that first of all, just a horrendous hit. I mean,
Haven't
it was
seen two vehicles come together that hard in a while.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thank God that both were okay.
Absolutely.
The safety
Because Flames
obviously
did enter the cockpit of that two truck.
Yes.
So definitely.
Yeah.
Thank
Quickly,
goodness he got
too.
it.
Yeah.
Goodness
Flames
he got
went
out.
in and Sheldon came out.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Well, and
That was tough.
It was great to see him come out, and then not only come out, but jog over to make sure that Chandler was okay as well. Because all 4 tires off the ground. After he was sitting, he's sliding still, but basically sitting there, and it's like then you get lifted off the ground and turned around again. It's just
interestingly, Chandler became the poster boy for highest of highs to the lowest of lows because he won the week before, and then has that happen. So tough break for both drivers.
I think that's a lot of times we talk about paint schemes and how sometimes people have. Like neon colored paint schemes and things like that. But sometimes when you have a black car or a black truck in this case, and you're down on the bottom of the racetrack, I realize they have lights and things like that. But when you've got smoke and darkness and, a black truck all mixed in together, and Sheldon just not trying to feel his way through there, not knowing that Chandler was going to be there when he got to the other side of the smoke. And then, by then it's too late.
And then his whole point was, he saw Haley Deegan spinning and starting to come down as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So with him watching, he was solely set on
Haley.
the right side of
he was
watching
his
her,
periphery,
gassing up to get around before she came down. And then the minute he looks forward, it's too late.
Chandler's
at that
right
point.
there.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. Also, over the weekend, they announced that they're going to have new body styles in 2022.
Yes.
Chevy Toyota and Ford have already shown theirs off. Chevrolet is probably going to, I would assume, with the GMS announcement, it'll be kind of tied in some sort of way. I would hope. I don't know, but they will have a new body style as well. But the Toyota Tundra one came with a little video that was shot. With it was Kyle Busch.
I think it was Kyle, Austin Hill, and Eckes.
And Eckes, yeah. They tried to
Love
break
seeing
in.
Truck Series drivers in TV commercials.
Yeah, they tried to break into the NASCAR garage to steal the truck.
Like
that,
they were
that had
the CIA
it was like
or something.
it was like a Mission Impossible type
Kyle
thing.
Busch rolls up and he's like, "Guys, I got the opener right here." And pops the door open,
Now, I can picture Kyle Busch and Christian Eckes doing a thing like that, but Austin Hill,
right?
I mean, that,
it was actually pretty good acting.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I got to hand it to him.
It's funny when those guys do that. And you don't see that enough anymore.
Absolutely.
The comedy aspect,
Yeah. You see that a lot.
And then Kyle got in the truck and burned it down on the front stretch.
Yeah. It's like, let me show you boys that I got the keys to this place, and I'm going to go take the truck for a ride, and then you can have your turn,
Well, what do you guys think about the body styles? I mean, they look pretty cool to me. But
Love them.
Looks great. And obviously it's an investment to start because you have to kind of restructure parts of the truck for the teams. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's going to be a nice investment because anytime you add composite elements to the trucks, I think that's or to any vehicle in the series, that's really going to cut down on your cost of sheet metal and things like that.
For those who aren't familiar, the Xfinity cars with the composite bodies, you can kind of bounce them off the wall a little bit, or you can kind of tag somebody's quarter or whatever, and they're a lot more durable.
Yeah,
you can keep going. Whereas in a cup car or whatever you see in the trucks, so the trucks going to composite is what Noah is saying will make them a little more durable, and I do agree. I think that's a good move. I really like the composite bodies.
I think the trucks need to be durable because of all the
the racing that they do in that series, definitely.
Yeah, well, and that won't do anything to discourage that either, right? Everybody knows that the bodies are tougher.
Now you can go put more on the line.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, though. I mean, that's
to a degree.
That's kind of what we need. Well, I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, you obviously don't want to take it too far. But
yeah, those are they were cool. I can't wait to see what Chevy's looks like. By the way, not for nothing, but you mentioned Grant Enfinger finished 7th in the 9 car, Cody Roba's truck, and he and Colby Howard have been doing time in that trucks this year, and Grant's really done a good job every time he's been in it.
Oh yeah.
And so whatever the announcement is that he's got coming, if it's GMS, that's instant championship contender status right there.
I got to give him credit, by the way, because when we did fantasy NASCAR last week, for some reason I kept thinking we were going to Talladega first, so I picked a lot of my drivers based on Talladega. So about Wednesday night, I looked at my list and I'm like, why did I pick these guys?
I didn't even see who you picked.
So originally I picked Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, and Ryan Blaney.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up changing I picked Logano. I changed it to Blaney because I put it on the chat. So
how'd that work for you?
I actually worked out better because Larson ended up, shooting himself in the foot.
Exactly.
So I ended up gaining a little bit of points. I gained
say.
like 2 points on everybody, but I gained most of the points from the Truck Series because I picked Enfinger, and he finished higher than. Creed got knocked out. Most of the championship contenders, which are what you guys picked, John Hunter Nemechek couldn't keep his car running or truck running.
Right, only 3 playoff guys of the 8 got a top 10.
Yeah.
Big time issues for those guys.
I gained a few points. So.
And going into, Talladega, too, you'd think that would have been the wild card. Vegas turned out to be a wild card.
This is the place you're supposed to come into and have a buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and now you've got 5 or 6 of the championship guys who are now going to be scared going into Talladega because now they have a whole lot of, making up to do to get into the next round.
By the way, Austin Wayne's 8th place. Nice run for him, too. Yeah. Nice top 10.
Ryan Truex as well.
Truex 9th, yeah. And, of course, the above-mentioned Austin Hill, prospective thief, finished in 10th.
Even Brent Holmes finished 11th. So,
yeah, Brent Holmes 11th.
There's a lot of guys in that field. It looks like a Talladega finishing order if you look at it from that perspective.
Todd Gilliland was really, really disappointed with a 5th place finish, which is kind of crazy. He led 66 laps in the race.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Xfinity Series. This is the Inside Pass.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right. It's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer to fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorycustomtrailers.com.
He wanted to be known for doing his best. Sure, right. His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player. Strike two. He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
I'm at the NASCAR epicenter, Daytona 500 Grand Marshal Track House representing. Rock cones at the stage. I'm in the suite next to the greatest of all time, baby, MJ. Blake Shelton to McGraw.
I did that just for you, and you weren't even here last week. So.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a surprise for Noah.
It was a surprise until Peter ruined it by telling him that Pitbull really wasn't here. We tried to play. We played it off for about 45 minutes.
Where the country girls at?
Text messages, but
I can sing. I can sing it for you.
I don't think
I'm
you
get
can
muted.
sing.
I can't sing. Everybody can sing.
Pretty sure I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I can't
actually.
sing. We may lose viewers if I do start singing.
Well, luckily we don't have any viewers.
Yeah, we don't have viewers to begin with. We have
Listeners,
Yeah.
whatever.
You have the kind of voice that makes people want to gouge their eyes out. That's how bad.
Close your eyes unless you're driving. Close your eyes and then pretend to view us.
No, I
and then
can't
we have
hear you.
viewers.
It's too dark.
You know what?
Wow, that's funny. All right, let's move on and talk about the Xfinity Series. Josh Berry is spoiling the fun for everyone Saturday night.
Kind of appropriate. He got it done only a couple hours after the Martinsville late model race.
Yeah, I was making the point on lead lap. We taped that earlier that he actually was winning a much bigger race. The last time he raced Martinsville, he led every single lap.
That's right. I was there.
He didn't lead that many at Vegas, but he led the one that counted. So
he wasn't there this time, so somebody else won it. He went and won where he was racing in Vegas, which was great.
He gave awesome Junior Motorsports a 1-2-3 finish.
He did.
Who ran the 8 car, or did they just pull out?
It was Sam Mayer.
Yeah, Sam Mayer.
He was involved in the first big crash.
Yeah, that was the one exception. So everybody else.
Thanks,
finished
Sam.
in
You run the 1, 2,
3.
3, 4.
Yeah,
good going, Sam. But anyway, so
Sam, I am.
Josh Berry ended up with the win. Allgaier finished second. Noah Gragson was third. So that kind of helped both Allgaier and Noah in their quest for the championship. Although, a part of me, obviously Josh had the better car, but at some point,
he did.
I mean, obviously Allgaier thought he could keep up with him, and he tried. He tried to catch back up to him. He just wasn't good enough to do it at the end of the day. But I guess Josh sort of was like, "Hey, I'm going to be your teammate, but I'm going for this win, so I'm going to spoil your fun." Yeah, I know you do. I'm not blaming him for not going for the win, but kind of puts a kick in the pants to somebody like Allgaier who's battling for the championship, and now he has to settle for second place and go to Talladega not locked into next round.
But the upside is that the teams focus on the Owners' Championship a lot.
Yes,
it's not something that the fans really focus on in NASCAR, but that definitely helped that car in the Owners' Championship.
Right, the one car is on at the round of 8 in the Owners' race.
And that team needed something good to happen.
Definitely.
That was a good pick-me-up for that team because obviously, and somebody said to me after the race that, gosh, what must Michael Annett be thinking as Chris just literally fell out of his chair. I think we need a set of belts for our producer.
We need a yellow
for next
flag.
show.
You floored him with your comment.
Yeah, I was going to say that take was so great that he fell right out of his chair. Oh,
wow.
I moved it back too fast.
I guess so. So I was talking about the fact that, somebody said, what must Michael Annett be thinking right now? I said, I imagine Michael Annett is thrilled because he understands, obviously, the situation, and you're happy for the team when they win in that deal. Of course, he likes to be in the car and win races, too, but I'm sure he was extremely happy for his guys and for Josh, too. I think what this proves is that Josh Berry is a championship contender in 2022 because he doesn't just win at short tracks.
Exactly, and look, like what an opportunity for Josh to kind of get. I mean, obviously, with Michael being out, we obviously don't want to see anybody out on an injury, but the opportunity for Josh to get more races than he ever thought he'd get in this season in those cars where he'll be making relationships with people he'll be around, and to show the competition that while he's not fighting for a championship, he can go out and, give it to him. And, of course, it's hard to be that teammate that's obviously out of the playoffs and kind of hindering the success of your two teammates behind you in a way. But at the same time, he's got sponsorship to deal with for next year and get ready for that car that he's stepping into. And Dale Jr.'s talked about him being more personable, and you get the best personality shown when you're winning races, and it's all about you.
Everybody wins well, right?
Exactly.
That's very true. I wonder if the marketing person at Flying J is like, wait a second, his name is Josh, and we're Flying J. So if we put him in the car full time,
Flying
obviously, they're tied with Michael Annett, but at the same time, I mean, it's got to be, like Tom said, it's got to be great if you're Michael Annett just to know that your car still has a chance to win the Owners' Championship. I feel like we probably should kind of explain why Michael Annett
re-signed?
No, he's still TPD.
He has not. They only have 4 cars.
But
so far.
they're expecting.
Yeah,
him
he'll
to be
resign.
I feel like we should kind of explain why the one car is involved in the Owners' Championship, but the one car is not involved in the Driver Championship. Because some people may not understand that there is a separate set of point standings for the owners than there are for the drivers.
Yes.
So
in F1, everything's about the manufacturers. For example, there is obviously a Drivers' Championship, but you hear the Manufacturers' Cup, the Constructors' Cup. That's kind of the big focus in NASCAR and most racing. The focus on the drivers' title. There is an Owners' Championship, and the manufacturers are still very they have their own set of points, and they don't like it when one of theirs is having a bad run or whatever, because it knocks them down in the manufacturer points. So that's not so much featured out in public, but they privately amongst the 3 manufacturers, it's important even in NASCAR. So yes, in this case, Michael did not qualify for the playoffs, but the car was eligible for owners' points, and so that was the big deal the other day. So big win for Josh.
Do you think we'll see Michael come back this year?
I was going to say, he won't be in Talladega because FYI, Josh,
we're getting
Josh
really
is in
close to the
Talladega.
end of the year anyway. Do you think he just sits out, recuperates?
Well,
and let Josh
I think
run
you
the rest
want to
of the year?
be if you can be.
Yeah.
And I would expect.
But you don't want to rush health, though.
No, but that's why I
He
said
tried
it.
that,
I
and-
chose my words carefully.
You did try that.
want to be if you can be. And I also think that probably the reason why you haven't seen an announcement yet is probably still things being worked out with Flying J. That usually is what the Junior Motorsports already said, that they will happily run 5 cars. So I don't see that being an issue, and I certainly, the car just won.
What a great problem
So
to have.
yeah, I don't think
5
Flying
cars.
J is going to back out
Exactly.
now. You just want to race.
It depends.
So.
Maybe they'll want to go to Josh, and then he might not.
I doubt that.
They're not going to win with Michael.
Jay has family
They're
ties.
definitely not going to win with Michael.
Yeah, Michael he does, and but also, they have before
At Daytona.
Well, but again, it doesn't matter. Win's a win. They don't care where it is. In fact, Daytona is a preferable place for a sponsor to win.
it's all about value, not
right.
always about the points and the wins.
So, but I think Josh will have no trouble having his own full season array of sponsors for the 8 car next year.
Well,
Right, and Dale said he will.
We know where 2 drivers are going to be in 2022 because it was announced that Daniel Hemrick is going
Yes.
to run for Colleague Racing in the 11 Chevrolet, taking over for Justin Haley because Justin's going to be the full-time driver on the Cup Series side for Colleague. So that seat has been filled. Unfortunately, that also means that they're potentially going to lose a driver because Jeb Burton's sponsor, Agri-Nutrient, is not going to come back in 2022. So as of right now, he doesn't have sponsorship, which means he doesn't have a ride yet.
And they were so close to finishing. I talked to Jeb in Richmond, even just as recent as Richmond, and he said they were close to finishing that deal. So whatever happened between Richmond and now with Nutrient Ag, obviously was something they didn't see completely coming.
It's not Ross Chastain.
At this point, I think it's safe to say that Ty Gibbs is taking that 18 car.
And then John Hunter could be in the
exactly.
20.
I think the 20 is going to John Hunter.
I think that's a fair assumption, and we stress that's all it is. We don't have any insider info on that, but also I think there could be a possibility that John Hunter could still be in play for something in Cup next year, because there's a couple of rides that still aren't necessarily set that I think are good rides that could play in if somebody's looking for a driver to bring in. John Hunter's had experience, and I think if he can get into a contending car, he'll go.
Yeah.
But you would think that he would be in the running for the 20. But again, Toyota's got an array of drivers, so it's really just about whatever they think. And they're not afraid to bring somebody in if they've got money either. So the 54 would be available. In fact, if Ty goes to the 18, then a bunch of spots. That car's been kind of a rotator, but Ty's driven most of them. So I'm happy for Hemrick, though a little bit surprised, because I was hoping maybe he'd be back in the 18. But what a great place to land with Kaulig Racing.
Yeah, the other driver we were talking about is Stephen Parsons. He is going to drive for BJ McLeod.
Yes, and
full-time.
Yes,
so.
We are working on getting him in here for a show as well. So hopefully that'll happen soon.
Last bit of news before the Xfinity Series, and then I know Anthony's on the phone. We'll get to him after the break. But Portland is going to be added, or supposedly going to be added, to the Xfinity Series schedule for 2022. That schedule will due out this week sometime. So we'll break all that stuff down for you next week. I'm assuming the Truck Series schedule not far behind as well. But that's exciting stuff for them to go back to the Northeast or Northwest.
I love Portland.
Yeah, it's a great circuit.
Yeah,
we just saw an IndyCar race there. They always put on great racing. That turn 1 chicane is always an issue, no matter who races there. And the trucks went there a couple times years ago, close to 20 years ago. I'm looking forward to another road course in an untapped market for NASCAR.
Well, and again, I think the track is just... It's a very racy track. I think it's going to be an interesting track for the Xfinity Series to run. I was a little surprised, honestly, to see that that's hopefully going to be a thing. But I think that's a great place for the Xfinity Series to go. They will put on some fantastic racing there, I do believe.
Well, Ben Kennedy has said that his goal was to try to make sure that he could get Xfinity and trucks to that side of the country, because there's not any races on that side of the country. So his goal was to try to get back into the Pacific Northwest and get into some of those markets where NASCAR isn't. So
Ben's doing a nice job.
He is doing a nice job. Yeah,
really nice job.
Try to get him to come on the show.
Ascension in NASCAR world.
So we're going to step aside here and take a break. When we come back, Fast Pasta Anthony Alfredo's on the line, so we'll talk to him about his rookie season in the Cup Series and
pasta.
see. And pasta. I'm sure we'll talk about pasta at some point in time.
Food. That's my favorite part.
As it always is. We don't have enough time in this segment. We are going to come back. This is the Inside Pass presented by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. We will be right back.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff, or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right. It's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
He wanted to be known for doing his best. Sure, right. His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player. Strike two. He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
When Marlon Shirley was 5 years old, he was in an accident and lost his foot, but he didn't lose his heart.
when you tackle a challenge that you just cannot even fathom tackling, when you accomplish that, the amount of integrity and the will and the heart that you'll get from that experience is what will set you up for your life.
In less time than it took Marlon Shirley to say that, he can now run 100 meters because today he's the world's fastest amputee. Overcome. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hey everybody, this is Larry McReynolds with NASCAR on Fox, and you're listening to the Inside Path.
Talk about a guy with a wealth of knowledge. That guy's a fantastic guy to have on.
Appropriate for Talladega week.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to the show. Randy Miller, Tom Baker, Peter Noah here, and Chris is doing buttons for us tonight. And we are going to go.
I promise I won't fall out of his
chair. We're literally making him fall out of his chair.
That hurt.
He's falling for us all.
It did.
So we're going to go to the hotline now and bring on one of our really good friends, one of our favorite people in all the NASCAR garage area, and one of our favorite drivers, Fast Pasta, Anthony Alfredo. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, it's great to be talking to you guys again. It's been a little while, and I appreciate you having me on the show tonight.
It has. I know we were trying to get you to come to the studio, but I think you have an iRace tonight at some point tonight, so you couldn't be here with us in studio, but hopefully in the very near future you can come back and sit in on a show with us and be a co-host with us. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely, definitely. I've been very busy both on and off the track, and more so virtually than ever before because I've become a co-owner of an eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series charter with XP Gaming and a co-owner of Lockdown Racing as well. So we're doing a lot of testing tonight because the guys got a race at Talladega tomorrow night. And then, of course, I'm racing there this weekend. So it never hurts for me to hop on the old SimSeeds driving simulator, get some laps in preparation for the real world because we don't have any practice or qualifying.
Tell us quick who drives for you on your team.
So in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, on the Exit Gaming side of things, it's Casey Kerwin and Ryan Luza competing for our team. And then with Lockdown Racing, we actually have 4 other drivers in the Coke Series, which is Jimmy Mullis, Zach Novak, Corey Vincent, and Taylor Hurst. And then we have a couple up-and-coming guys who are running in the eNASCAR Road to Pro Series and the Pro Series as well. So it's been pretty cool to kind of be a part of a developmental program, so to speak, on the sim, and then obviously a world championship side as well. I've learned a lot more about it, and I've actually feel like I've become more involved in the space, but even a better driver from working with these, professional sim racers.
Yeah, Casey and Ryan are 2 of the best ever, I think, on the sim. They're really good.
Novak isn't such a slouch.
Novak, too.
Yeah,
Mullis as well.
They're all good guys. So, go ahead.
So tell me how instrumental SimSeats has been in your partnership with them. You've got a lot of seat time. They do a lot of at-track activation. What's it like working with those guys?
Well, I'm glad you asked because it's been a truly incredible relationship with not just myself and SimSeats on the professional side, but even just behind the scenes. We've become really great friends, everyone over there, especially Zach Maxby, the owner. In the beginning, I was just a customer looking for a simulator cockpit that was the most ergonomically accurate, highest quality, and that's how I stumbled upon them. And from there, it just became a whole lot more. I do a lot of work with them on the side and some R&D things as well, and it's opened the door for a lot of other opportunities in the iRacing space, which has been pretty neat. And then obviously working with iRacing themselves on a professional level, as well as Max Pappas Innovations. MPI's got a line of sim racing specific wheels, so not only do I use those in real life, but on the sim racing side of things, and D-Box Technology, which makes full haptic systems for the rig. So I've been able to work with a lot of really cool people through them, and like I said, we've just developed such a great relationship. It's pretty cool. Just from 3 years ago now, like I said, I was a customer, and now we're best friends, and on the side, obviously have a professional business relationship as well.
So let's talk about the real thing, shall we? You having a chance to run for Front Row Motorsports this year in the Cup Series. Tell us how that's been going for you and what your point of view is on the season. Running the Ford's certainly a big change for you, but you've had some good runs with that car.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an incredible opportunity, obviously, to take this next step to the highest level of stock car racing. obviously my ultimate goal is to be a Cup Series champion one day, but to get to this level is one step closer to that. So I'm very thankful for everyone who supports me and everyone at Front Row Motorsports taking a chance on me, because obviously never running a full season in either the truck or Xfinity series and stepping up to a full-time Cup Series schedule is something not many people have ever done before. And it was a huge step for me, but it was just a great opportunity. And, just the way things unfolded at the end of last year, it was just the right fit, and it's worked out really well since. So unfortunately this year we've had a lot of just misfortune and been in bad circumstances, wrong place, wrong time, or a parts failure here, a tire going down here. And then, obviously my share of rookie mistakes, but in, all in all, things considered, with no practicing and no qualifying, it's gone pretty well. And we've definitely grown a lot as a team throughout the year, gotten a lot better, and I think more competitive in general. So it's been cool to be a part of that and run these bigger, longer races, learn a lot. I feel like I've become a better person, better race car driver, and I'm definitely looking forward to the future.
How about the dude wipes moment that you had with Radioactive? I just, that was probably one of the all-time best and most well-timed sponsor promos ever. Walk us through that, because I know it wasn't planned, but boy, that was actually funny, although it probably wasn't while it was happening to you.
Well, I always tell people if that doesn't show my genuine advocacy, then I don't know what was. That was the first thing that came to mind. It wasn't, some sort of planned or thought out sponsorship plug. It was just the first thing I've come to mind. Dude Wipes is another partner of mine where I have an awesome relationship with, on and off the track. So it just worked out. It was just one of those things that kind of definitely wasn't planned, but seemed to gain some traction, and everybody thought it was funny.
Anthony, we know how strong the front row cars are at Daytona and Talladega. At Talladega in the spring, you finished 12th, your best result of the season. Do you think we could see that again this weekend? What are your expectations for Sunday?
Absolutely. The super speedways are tracks that we feel we have as good a shot as anybody to win, especially after my teammate Michael McDowell winning the Daytona 500. So we go to them with pretty high expectations. We know we can have a run better than at a lot of the other types of tracks on the schedule, so we definitely want to take advantage of that, and that'll just come down to whether or not we want to be conservative and just play the survival game and try to be there at the end, or maybe be aggressive this time around and try to get some exposure for our sponsors, me gain some experience and respect from the competitors, and just put on a great show for the fans. So we'll have to see how all that unfolds. We'll get a game plan together this week, but I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoy speedway racing, and obviously, like I said before, it's a place for us to make something special happen. So I would love to improve on that 12th place finish. Hopefully, be able to get a top 10 or a top 5 even. And who knows, if the cards come our way, we might be able to even pull away a top 3 or a win even. So just don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Just got to make it to the last lap to begin with. That's step one, and then from there, you just got to be in the right place at the right time.
I wanted to take a little bit, and I know we've got just over 5 minutes left, and I wanted to give you quite a bit of time to talk about this. I want to talk about the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation. You guys do a lot of great work with them, and you guys, I saw a promo video come out. You guys are taking a huge step with them, and a lot of the Raceface brand development drivers are in that as well. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Friends of Jacqueline and just how much that means to you.
Yeah, well, it's a really special cause because I've always said that my mission statement has always been to utilize my platform to do good for others. And that's no matter what I do in my life. But to have such a great platform through my racing program has allowed me to work with, organizations like the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation and not only raise awareness for pediatric cancer patients, but actually work closely with one family, the Uden family. And Zach is a young child who's actually been doing super well lately. He's been fighting childhood cancer, and there's so many people, it's just to be there for someone is pretty special, and I never looked at myself as someone that could have an impact like that in somebody's life. So I'm just very grateful for that opportunity, and if I could, like I said, use my platform to do well for others, it's really cool. And that really all started 2 years ago when I was competing in the truck series. So to now be at the Cup Series level and have even more reach with my platform. It's special to be able to do that, and hopefully it's for a long time to come.
Yeah, Anthony, first I want to say, as a iRacer myself, I'm kind of jealous of hearing about the rig stuff because
loose
term, very loose term. But I'm jealous of hearing about the rig stuff because I just had my wheel like completely crap out on me. It doesn't work anymore, so I've had to find some new stuff. Yeah, I know. But I wanted to talk to you, Anthony, about just your kind of obviously we're dialing down now in the season, and I wanted to know your expectations going forward, and if you've made any, have any plans or anything like that to talk about yet, but also just where you feel as a driver you need to be for next season and the performance you're looking for.
Well, I think the biggest thing going into this year was to just take advantage of the opportunity and learn as much as I could each and every race. I run every lap like it's my last. I think I've learned to make the most out of each opportunity, running part-time the last few years of my career. You never know when the next race is going to be, and you just got to drive your butt off every single lap. So that's what I've tried to do, and obviously it's been hard with some of the misfortune we've had this year because if you're not finishing races or running all the laps, you're ultimately not learning as much as you can. And a lot of those things, like I said, have been completely out of our control, and it just wasn't meant to be. So just got to have faith and trust the plan that God has for us. Definitely moving forward, the goal is to grow with this organization. That was the whole plan heading into this year and why they were willing to take a chance on me. Everyone at Front Row Motorsports, our owner Bob Jenkins and Jerry Freeze, all the partners. I'm just super thankful for the opportunity. And like I said, I would love to build on it with everything I've learned this year and the chemistry we've built as a team. I think we could go into next year and be a lot more competitive. And on another note, there's a new car. So that's the most exciting part because for someone like me, coming into this year with no practice or qualifying, trying to learn a new car, a lot of new tracks, and compete against guys who've been in the series for over a decade, it's pretty hard to catch up to that, so to speak. So when there's a new car, I think it's a more level playing field. Especially for a smaller team like ours that, has a much smaller budget, a lot less personnel, I think it could allow us to be even more competitive yet.
So we've talked about how much of a footprint you have on the digital world, and all the ways that you have embraced that whole part of your life. Talk a little bit about how they can follow you on social media and where they can catch your Twitch channel and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, all my social media is at Anthony Alfredo, just my name, and pretty sure all my platforms are verified. So if you don't see a check mark, not me. And then my TikTok and Twitch are actually fast_pasta. So I go by my nickname on those. And I love engaging with the different communities on all these social platforms. It's been pretty cool to grow in all these other places and engage with everybody. So definitely check it out and never hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about anything, especially sim racing.
We've told Noah to stop pretending to be you, but he just won't stop. He even spelled pasta wrong on the thing. You really have to stop trying to be Anthony Alfredo.
I just want pasta. I'm hungry.
He only cares about the pasta part of it.
Noah's our resident foodie, Anthony. You haven't met him yet, but you will.
All right, so Anthony, best of luck. Go out there and get a win at Talladega. That would be completely awesome. And come back on and come join us in the studio for a show one of these days, and come hang out with us because we'll either warp you or you're going to come and have fun. One of the two. So, but best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Anthony Alfredo, everybody, and such a great guy. I
really
love having him on, and hopefully he has good things coming up for him next year because he deserves to have a good quality ride.
Yeah, he's another one that is right now.
I think he hit the nail on the head with the new car. I think it's going to do really well for Front Row.
Well, see, and that's what I think he was most excited about is everybody starts from scratch, basically.
That's right. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the Inside Pass on the other side. Stick with us. We will be right back.
Everywhere you go, you hear it, and you see it. It's coming at you through your phone, your tablet, and your computer. It's broadcast from your favorite radio station, TV networks, and cable companies. It's in the stadiums, the arenas, the ballparks. It screams for your attention at the mall. It's interactive on Main Street. It's even coming at you from the gas pump at the nearby convenience store. What is it? It's digital content. It's digital content. It's digital content. Somebody has to create it. Somebody has to manage it. So whether your dream is to write it, design it, create it, call it, produce it, voice it, host it, light it, shoot it, switch it, record it, color color correct it, edit it, code it, repurpose it, tweet it, blog it, post it, compress it, upload it, replay it, or make sure it gets to where it's got to go when it's got to get there in the format it's got to be in. You need to attend
Carolina School of Broadcasting.
The skills you will learn, the experience you will get, and the connections you will make at Carolina School of Broadcasting will open the doors to the career you want in digital content creation and digital content management. Call or come by today. Click csbradiotv.edu.
Everyone knows Strutmasters is the suspension experts for luxury vehicles, and now we offer motorcycle products. Introducing Easy Rider Complete Motorcycle Air Suspension, brought to you by Strutmasters.com. You can raise and lower your bike with the flip of a switch. Take those long rides with the ultimate comfort of Easy Rider Air Shocks. They're backed by Strutmasters, and you won't believe the low price. Check out Easy Rider Motorcycle Air Suspension at Strutmasters.com.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Jeff Burton, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass, and we thank you so much for listening to our show, even if it's on demand, no matter where you listen to it. If you're listening to us on Sirius, thank you so much for listening to our show. Randy Miller, Tom Baker, Noah Lewis, Peter Strada, and Chris is pushing buttons for us tonight.
And falling out of chairs.
And literally falling on the floor. And there goes Jimmy for the night. All right, well, let's talk about NASCAR for a little bit since Anthony was just on the phone. We kind of touched on HMS. They were on pace to be 1, 2, 3, 4 again for the second time this year, but pit strategy kind of killed their momentum in the second stage, and they just never could recover. Chase ended up actually recovering better than everybody else. He came back to finish second behind Denny Hamlin, who... Tom mentions every week it's the hot driver is the guy that everybody goes for. So now Denny's the one that's at the top of he's going to win the championship because he's won both of the opening races in both rounds of the playoffs so far. So now he's the proverbial guinea pig right now. But he's winning at the right time. He's streaking at the right time, and that's what you want. I mean, he did nothing all season long, and as soon as the playoffs hit,
I don't know if you want to streak at all.
Not well, I mean,
not in NASCAR. Let's put it like that.
That is very true. That now I threw up for the second time tonight. Anyway, but yes, I mean, in terms of being hot at the right time, he's definitely doing what he needs to do to do that.
Denny Hamlin always won a bunch of races and then sucked in the playoffs. So maybe if he doesn't win in the regular season, he'll just win all the playoff races.
Right.
Well, here again, to me, when I look at this, Kyle Larson is still the guy. They made a really bad decision.
Especially once you get to Phoenix, I think it's Kyle Larson.
Exactly. They made a really bad decision on pit strategy that really came back to bite them, and surprisingly so.
And I think they said even with his 10th place finish, he's still got like a one race points cushion on the rest of the field in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
those bonus points will do everything for you.
Yes, Larson is 57 points above the cut line. So.
Yeah, the road to the championship still goes through Kyle Larson, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to get to the Joey Gase wreck real quick. What you guys think about that wreck?
Horrible. Thank God it appears he's okay, or at least not seriously hurt. That was just unbelievable. That was one of the hardest hits I've seen in a long time.
Yep, for sure. We are going to step aside, take a break. When we come back from break, we'll have a little bit of a short segment. We're going to talk about mycomputercareer.edu, and then we'll be right back.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, Recording Artists Against Drunk Driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. But the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff, or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
I'm Corey LaJoy, driver of anything I can get my hands on, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
Or anything he can get his face on.
Yeah, they did a whole age progression thing
Yeah.
on him this weekend.
Because it was his birthday.
On the hood.
At Vegas. That was pretty clever.
It
Welcome
was.
back to the
That
show.
was the first time his face is on a race car.
Yeah,
Coming up in the next event, we're going to talk to Rajah Caruth, former iRacer turned ARCA driver, drives for Rev Racing. His teammate, or one of his teammates, was here last week, LeVar Scott.
Yep.
So we'll talk to him at the top of the hour. But Tom, our show is sponsored, of course, by mycomputercareer.edu, training for a better life. And I feel like sometimes we all need a new career, or at least a little bit of a reboot. So we knew people who could do that for us.
Noah needs a new career.
Noah needs a couple of careers. But
Noah does need a reboot, too. So here's the thing. mycomputercareer.edu, it is training for a better life. If you are looking for a new career, whether it's a first career, a second career, or a fifth career, it doesn't matter. My Computer Career may be your answer. It is, of course, IT. And IT is a field that's going to continue to grow for a number of years. Still far more demand for qualified IT specialists across the world than there are supply of those specialists. That's good for you if you choose My Computer Career to kind of move on to your better life. And here's how simple it is. They have financial aid available if you qualify, including the GI Bill. Now, the training, just 4 to 6 months, 1 to 2 times a week. That's it. Not even in their campuses. You can do it online, so you can do it in your PJs if you want. And My Computer Career will also help you with lifetime job placement assistance. So when you're ready to go out in the workforce, they'll work with hundreds of employers to get you placed. MyComputerCareer.edu is not rocket science. You do not have to be a math and science nerd, nor do you have to be a computer nerd. It is a great field to go into, and MyComputerCareer.edu has trainers that are more like mentors. They really want to see you succeed. So go check them out if you're looking for a change in career and a better life, and you could be on your way in 4 to 6 months to that better life. MyComputerCareer.edu. Also check out their nonprofit, helpingheroes.org too, please, because they do a lot with first responders and military as well.
Yes, and there's more information about that on a prior episode of Lead Lap that you can go in and check out on demand. We are going to step aside, come back, and Rajah Caruth will be on the hotline. We are presented by MyComputerCareer.edu. Training for a better life. We'll be right back.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. But the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports Sales Professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park. The Performance Motorsports Network is a compilation of shows about motorsports. From technical to controversial to just fun, everything you like about racing and gearhead stuff is right here on one internet channel. The Performance Motorsports Network. Tell your friends about it.
Hey, this is Jeremy Clements, driver of the number 51, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
Jeremy had a pretty good run going Saturday night in the Xfinity race for a little while until he had tire problems like a whole bunch of other people that ran at Vegas over the weekend. Welcome back to our show. I think we're going to the hotline. I'm not.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. Okay, we're not.
I did tell him to call back though, so he may call us back anytime soon. So we'll go back. Not sure. Oh, that might be it.
Well, it was.
We heard a dial tone.
Yeah, it was a dial tone.
Yeah,
Someone had hung
we'll try
up.
it again.
Okay, let's go to the hotline and see if he's
there
on.
We go.
Rajah Caruth, are you with us?
Hello?
Yes, we got you, Rajah.
Finally.
We got you.
Welcome to the wonderful world of filming a live show.
Yes.
So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I can't believe that this is the first time you've ever been on the Inside Pass. That's crazy.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's great to finally be on.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about the Drive for Diversity program. We had one of your buddies, LeVar Scott, on last week. He talked a lot about the program and how much it's kind of helped him in his quest to become a better race car driver. You kind of came from the iRacing world into the stock cars, so it's kind of a little bit different transition for you, but talk a little bit about how the Drive for Diversity program helped you along and kind of what you think about the program.
I mean, I wouldn't be racing if not for NASCAR Drive for Diversity and Rev Racing. That's the whole point of the program, is to give really people that wouldn't have an opportunity point blank period, or people that have been racing for a period of time, and a chance to show their talent and go to the next level and take the next steps in their careers. And so I'm thankful to be a part of this team and this program. And like I said, I would not be racing. I would not have a career or anything really if not for NASCAR Drive for Diversity.
First time I met you, I asked you how you got interested in racing, because you're a young man from Washington, D.C., which isn't exactly known as the racing capital of the world, right? So for our worldwide audience here, talk about what got you interested in racing as a kid.
I mean, I got interested in racing from Lightning McQueen and cars initially, and getting diecast and stuff. I didn't grow up going to the racetrack. Nobody in my family raced. My parents came to the U.S. in the late 70s, so that not really any racing family or lineage, and really just my interest grew over time. I didn't phase out of it as kids tend to do with whatever interest they have, and just grew over time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Raj, Noah Lewis here, and I wanted to address our iRacing back and forth. No, I'm just kidding. I've done some iRacing stuff with you on Monday Night Racing, and I know that whenever you're coming to get the heck out of the way because you are flying to the front.
Because you're in the way?
Then I'm in the way, yes.
No,
absolutely. I'm always in the way, but especially if he's coming, I get the heck out of the way. And then I try to follow him, and then I realize, man, I am so bad at this.
He's like you behind before you realize he's already gone. So.
Talk about your enjoyment with sim racing, because, man, you're so good at it, and I can say that from experience.
I mean, sim racing is where I started racing. I didn't grow up racing legend cars initially. I didn't grow up racing go-karts or quarter midgets or anything. I got my first. I cut my teeth racing on the sim. From running in the Ignite Series in 2018 to the NORC iRacing League and other competitions on there. That's really how I started on the sim and started racing in general. And I learned some of the basics of racing, and really that helped has set a foundation to an extent of who I am as a driver nowadays.
You're a Twitch streamer as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? We had Anthony Alfredo on in the first segment, who's also big in the Twitch world. Tell people, what's your Twitch? Where can people find you? Where can people watch your race?
Yeah, so my Twitch is Rajah Caruth _. I go live Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. If we're not doing stuff at the racetrack or at the shop or anything. It's Talladega this week, so it should be pretty entertaining. Me trying to not crash.
That's everybody's goal,
right?
Not to crash at Talladega.
I want to know too, because you kind of have, at least when I've raced with you, the title of being aggressive. Kind of getting at it. And so I wanted to know.
No, you're just bad.
I know I'm bad. Okay, we understand this, but he's pretty aggressive, And I wanted to know how taking, racing on the real side of things. Sometimes there are moments where you can't really be aggressive, and you have to kind of fall back. But when you're doing sim racing stuff, and you're not going to tear anything up, really. What is it like to kind of get on that discipline and that side of things, and know that you can do things maybe with the car that you wouldn't be able to do in person? Does that kind of contribute to the aggression?
Yeah, definitely. That you hit it right on the head, man. And that it's definitely to a fault on the sim, as I definitely go over the a limit, I guess, on aggression and making gutsy moves or attempting to make gutsy moves. And I think that's the reason right there. Like in real life, there's a lot more consequences, and it's a lot of times not really useful to do such aggressive or ill-advised blocks or moves and things like that. And so I guess similar to how, I guess, when you work out, you have your cheat days, it's somewhat of an equivalent where, I can, I guess, go let loose on here because I know I can't do it, and I shouldn't do it when I race in real life because, one, it hurts, two, it costs money, three, people spend, our guys specifically spend hours and hours of their time working on our cars and making them faster, so it doesn't make any sense to throw it out the window.
You can't hurt the virtual pit crew guys in the pits.
That's true. You just get another car. Speaking of your guys, you've proven you can win in the late models. Now you're running ARCA and had a decent year this year with that. And next year you've got 3 Xfinity races. Talk about your kind of move into ARCA and what that's been like, and then now having the chance with this newly formed team next year to go Xfinity racing for a few races.
Yeah, so it's just, I guess, the next step. It's not even a full-fledged step, I would say, just because we're running a full ARCA series or season next year, and so I'll get more big track experience. Like, we'll go to Kansas next month, but to go to Kansas again, Pocono, Charlotte, Daytona, Talladega, and get that experience along with Mid-Ohio and Watkins Glen in the ARCA car. That's going to help big time for the Xfinity stuff due to the length of the races, running a right side window and spending more time on a radial tire just because I've had 8 ARCA races this year and 8 times I've been in an ARCA car compared to really all my counterparts that have tested and raced for since before I started racing, period. So, those Xfinity races will be fun next year with Alpha Prime Racing. I'm excited to go with Tommy and Caesar and make my debuts at short tracks, places that I know. Getting experience at Martinsville this past weekend was valuable for that, and I'm trying to get that a rookie test scheduled for to test at Richmond, just to get kind of familiar at a track I've been going to since I was 12, 13, and but overall, I'm excited for next year and hopefully trying to add more races, hopefully some truck races too, depending on sponsorship, and just trying to improve myself.
So in about 30 seconds or so, talk a little bit about your sponsors, anybody you want to thank, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I guess personally there's Events DC and DTLR mainly that help support our endeavors, and a lot of other local sponsors back in DC that you can see on my website, www.rajahcaruth.com. And the Rev and NASCAR Drive for Diversity, there's Max, T-Motor and his company, Sunoco and iRacing as well. They have expressed their belief in me and have helped with both our late model stuff and our ARCA stuff. So I'm excited to have Sunoco on our ARCA car again for Salem, and hopefully they'll be on it for Kansas and Phoenix too.
Rajah, we wish you the best of luck. You're going to have to come after your iRacing season is over. You're going to have to come sit in the show and be co-host with us for a night, because I think it'd be fun to get your perspective on a lot of things. But best of luck the rest of this year and even going into 2022, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Deal. Yeah, let's make that happen this winter.
Yeah, sounds good. For sure. Sounds good. Rajah Caruth, everybody, and that kid's going to go places, I think.
He is, yeah.
Especially, in the next couple of years, he'll be a household name. We are going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, we got Fantasy NASCAR on the way. We've still got lots of stuff to talk about, so don't know how we're going to fit it all into 45 minutes, but we'll try. We'll do the best we can. We'll be back. More of the Inside Pass presented by mycomputercareer.edu, training for a better life, right after this.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery technique. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer that fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorycustomtrailers.com.
Hi, this is John Andrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
When Marlon Shirley was 5 years old, he was in an accident and lost his foot, but he didn't lose his heart.
When you tackle a challenge that you just cannot even fathom tackling, when you accomplish that, the amount of integrity and the will and the heart that you'll get from that experience is what will set you up for your life.
In less time than it took Marlon Shirley to say that, he can now run 100 meters because today he's the world's fastest amputee. Overcoming. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Hello, race fans. This is Chris Wright. Thanks for listening to the Inside Pass.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass.
Wait till he turns the mic
first
on.
time
Well, the music ended.
Well, for the first time, I turned Noah on before Randy, so she should be.
That was your opportunity to talk, and you
Yeah.
didn't take advantage
Messed
of it.
up, now it's off.
Hey, we've got two really huge guest announcements that I want to get to before we get too far ahead. We've got next week. I'm not sure who we're going to have on, but we'll figure it out as we go because we sometimes fly by the seat of our pants. But in 2 weeks, we've got a really good guest. He's an author, and we actually we're gifted copies of his book, one of his books, for all of us to take home and read. I'm excited to read this book.
Yes.
It's called
Deadly Driver.
Yeah, Deadly Driver. J.K. Kelly. This is a fictional book. Tom's already read the book. He says
He'd read it in 2 days.
Yes, I binge read it in 2 nights because
obviously it's not a pop-up book. So
I'm a speed reader, so I can read quickly.
So, no, I can read it for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there pictures?
There's an audio version of this book.
Yeah, there is that.
There is.
But J.K., yes, J.K. and I have talked a few times, and J.K. was Darrell Waltrip's PR guy back when he was driving for Dyguard in the Gatorade 88 in the late 70s. So classic stories there.
Fun.
If you read his other book called Fuelin' Around, F-U-E-L, Fuelin' Around, it's his autobiography. He talks about that, and then also his time. He was one of the original executives with VP Racing Fuel, and the history of his time with that company and all that they have done in racing. Just an unbelievable book. He's going to be here in the studio. So this will be a fun show to kind of just, talk about his books and his career in the sport and all of that. He's a really, really energetic guy, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the stories he can tell.
Literally.
So it'll be a really good show. The following week, October 18th, this is for all of our fans over in the United Kingdom. Callum Illett is going to be on the program. He's got a really good Indy Lights ride. He's going to be full-time next year. in that ride, and so it's going to be exciting stuff just to be able to talk to him. So good stuff. Yes, Chris.
Say that again.
What?
I want you to say it one more time.
Callum Ellett.
No,
what Indy Lights? Isn't it Indy Lights?
It's an Indy. It's
actual Indy. Oh,
yeah,
he's in Indy
I
Lights.
missed. I'm sorry. I should have picked up on that. Yeah,
he's IndyCar.
He's running
He's moving up to
He's in Indy Lights
okay,
now,
okay.
but IndyCar next year.
I wanted to make sure he said that again.
So
I didn't want to call him out for something that he didn't say.
You're right.
Full season 22 of IndyCar racing for Yonkos, which is great.
It's like moving up from Xfinity to Cup. It's a little bit bigger of a deal, so it needs to be said. But yeah, for sure. He's definitely going to be talking about drivers on the horizon. He's definitely going to be a really good interview. So we're looking forward to that. All right, Fantasy NASCAR. I updated the points before the show started, so give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it out here. Peter took over the lead from Seth.
Have I been cut out yet?
Exciting. No, almost.
When's the cutoff race?
Phoenix.
Oh.
So
we don't eliminate. Yeah,
we just go to the end of
Can we kick Noah out?
Top 4 of the championship.
I'm going to be kicking Noah
Well,
out.
I mean,
can we take a vote? Everybody who's ready. Let me mute him. Everybody who says, everybody who wants to kick Noah out, say aye.
Aye.
Everybody that opposes. Tom gets muted too.
Just voted both ways to make Noah happy.
Exactly.
Got to keep civility in the room.
So anyway, Peter took over the lead from Seth. Noah is third in points. I moved up to fourth only because I picked Grant Enfinger. So thank you, Grant, for that.
I'm going back home.
And then Tom and Chris are the final two right now. We take the top 4 to Phoenix. So we'll see what happens over the next several weeks. We go to Talladega this weekend. So I feel like it's close your eyes and pick a driver. But nonetheless. That's what I did last week, and it worked out for me. So maybe you guys will take a plate out of my book. Stop picking Larson. That's the thing. He doesn't always win. That's the main thing. So
he does when the crew doesn't make bad calls.
Yeah, or when you guys don't pick him, he always wins.
Super Speedways are
what in the world? Especially since the playoffs, my picks have all had terrible races.
Well, that's good news for me. All right,
because Peter's leading, and I hate that more than anything. I'd rather anybody else in this room lead. I'd rather even Chris lead over Peter. Now, actually, I take that back.
At least it's not Nick.
I take that back.
Yeah, Nick's no longer in the. Nick's not in the playoffs.
Yeah, worst to first. Is true. Or first to worst.
And I haven't heard from him since, so I don't know if he's just upset, mad, or if he's just decided he's going to take his frustrations out on iRacing.
He's just sad.
Nonetheless, all right, we'll start with the top of the leaderboard. So Peter is first in the point, so he gets to go first this week and pick your 3 drivers.
Going out on a bit of a limb for trucks at Dega, I'll go Matt Crafton. Xfinity, I feel like a Colic car is going to win, so I'll go Justin Haley. 2 straight Super Speedway wins and 3 straight at Talladega, I believe. And then Cup, I'll go Ryan Blaney for a 3rd Talladega win.
All right, Noah, you're next.
Oh, gosh, shot in the dark. All right, I'll go Sheldon Creed for trucks, and then I will go with, let's go Noah Gregson for Xfinity. And I know Colic always shows me up when I pick Noah, but JRM was the original plate masters, it seemed like, Super Speedway masters, so maybe they'll have a comeback with their team.
JR, anyway.
Yeah.
The JR part of that.
But,
Junior.
Yep, and then for Cup, I'm going to go, and I hate doing this because I always mess him up, but he was messed up last week anyway. I'm going to go William Byron for Cup.
Well, he won Daytona last year when it counted. So when the chips are down, he's always the one that always seems to come from behind. So I'll go next. I'm going to stick with the same drivers I had last week because they brought me good luck. So I'll pick Grant Enfinger for trucks, Hemrick for Xfinity, and Blaney for a Cup. Hopefully they bring me good luck, or they're all going to be involved in the big one, and I'll have 0 points at the end of the week. Whatever. All right, Tom, you go next.
Okay, so Ben Rhodes for the truck victory, please. I'm going to go Justin Haley for Xfinity. And let's see. Gosh, the Cup race is just such a crapshoot. Alex Bowman.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Alex Bowman.
I actually thought about picking him too. All right.
I really need Justin to
He needs the win.
Let's see.
Haley.
In trucks, man, I just had it. In trucks, Austin Hill. Xfinity, Brandon Brown. And in Cup, Alex Bowman.
I love the limb there.
Last of first in points.
If Brandon Brown wins, that's going to be real close to my Trevor Bayne 2011 Daytona pick.
But it's Talladega. that could easily just happen as Larson winning the next 6 races in a row. Really. I mean, it's when it comes to Talladega, anything's possible.
To see Brandon Brown
that would be quite awesome. And I love how we all picked kind of different people this time. Because usually we all pick the same driver.
I need Justin Haley.
You don't gain any
points. I'm sorry, Justin, but I need him to be involved in the big one and my drivers to get through because I need it.
Mute him.
That's kind of hard.
Colleague Racing
I need
is a
it for
friend
the
of
sake
this
of my
show.
points.
Stop that.
Right? That's so mean.
Any other college driver can win.
All right, so let's talk about some of the other news. We'll get to IndyCar and F1 here in a little bit, but we had some champions that were crowned over the weekend. Justin Bonsignor won the 2021 Wheel and Modified Championship for the 3rd time, so he is now a champion for the 3rd. Not consecutive though, right? Do you know?
Say again.
Bonsignor. That wasn't a start in a row, was it?
3rd consecutive.
It is 3rd consecutive. Okay,
yes.
I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get Justin on here over the winter to kind of help him celebrate his. Maybe next week because we don't have a guest. Just FYI. Also, our buddy Steve Arpin had a baby like 3 weeks ago, and his name is Ryder. So congratulations to Steve. He's actually going to come to the studio in a few weeks and be on a co-host.
Did Steve have a baby or his wife have a baby?
Yes, Steve
had a baby?
Okay.
Then we really need to get him on the show.
Yeah, we need to get him on the show. That's amazing.
Wow.
We might want to bleep that because science will want to run some tests.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah. There are other wingless people that listen to the show that probably want to give him a COVID shot and make him run some tests. Anyway, so, but yes, Arpin's wife had a baby. Ryder is his name. Adorable little kid. And so our congratulations to him. The Nitro Rallycross had their very first event in Utah over the weekend. He finished 2nd, podium finish for him. And I'm trying to remember
Timmy Hansen.
Won. I watched some of it on Peacock. It's actually really cool. I love that kind of stuff.
Rallycross is
and
fun.
I really hope it takes off because it's super cool to see that kind of stuff happening. But Steve's going to come in the studio here. Their shop is just down the street. In
it is?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
But between Rowan County and Iredell County, on the other side of Mooresville Dragway. So,
okay.
But he's there all the time. He invited us to all come and hang out and kind of get a tour of the studio or get a tour of the shop. So
we're in the studio.
We'll have to do that. Yeah, thank you. My computer career.
Take a look around.
Yeah.
And also I mentioned the USEC Silver Crown Series. They have their season finale coming up this weekend. There is a 1-point difference between the top 2 drivers. Cody Swanson and Logan Seavey battling for the championship. 1-point difference between those 2 guys. So that is going to be a fierce battle in the USEC Silver Crown Series. But it's good to see those guys getting some time both on TV and in the press and media.
2 of the best wheelmen in the sport of open wheel racing, and both have had stock car experience and a little bit of success as well. But I have the feeling both of them now are kind of settled back into the midgets and open wheel stuff. So.
Yeah, well, although there's a lot of silly season stuff going on. Not only, we talk about NASCAR, we talk about IndyCar. There's a lot of silly season stuff we can talk about with the IndyCar side, too, here in a little bit. But there's also a lot of World of Outlaws kind of rumors going around. Yep. Some of those guys that we talk about all the time, the Buddy Kofoids of the world, trying to get some World of Outlaws rides. Tony Stewart's looking for some new talent for his Ascot series, and ASCS is picking up some steam, and a lot of those guys want to dabble into the World of Outlaws late model series too. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, good things happening with the dirt guys coming up in the off season. You'll see a bunch of those guys. Plus, it's getting close to starting to talk about the Chili Bowl and toss the shootout and things like that. So a lot of those guys are going to be going to Oklahoma to compete in that too.
Said this in lead lap. I'll say it here. Time needs to slow down.
Time does need to slow down.
It does seem like this year has gone by super fast. That is for sure. So when we come back from break, we'll talk about F1. This is every single race in the F1 series just seems like it gets better. This one, maybe not so much, but I guess it depends on who you cheer for. IndyCar ended their season as well. A big championship for Alex Palou. We'll talk about that too, and kind of what we think is going to happen in 2022. There's a lot of, as I said, seats available, lots of seats being filled. So silly season is kind of in full swing with the IndyCar series guys, and we'll talk about that and maybe the future of Jimmy as well, a 7-time as he embarks maybe on his 2nd season in the IndyCar side. We'll take a break. We'll come back more of the Inside Pass right after these words.
When do you think of a plumber? Like most people, even if it's an emergency, you can be confident about who will arrived to help you. For quality and reliability, count on someone you can trust. Call on the plumbing services of Hague Quality Water of Maryland. Plumbing doesn't have to be an emergency. We handle all kinds of preventative maintenance too. Hague Quality Water of Maryland is family owned here in Annapolis since 1993. For a refreshing choice, call us at 888-84-WATER or visit us online.
Here at Lewis Meineke, we're more than just your average car care center. Hey, it's Dave, your neighbor from Lewis Meineke. Whether you need an oil change, brakes, tires, or anything under the hood, we've got you covered. Take advantage of our free check engine light service as well. Yes, free. And don't forget about our free shuttle service. Never stress, we'll take care of the rest. On with life. Give us a call at Lewis Meineke, 302-827-2054.
Victory Custom Trailers is the place to go for your next new or used trailer or coach. Being personally involved in the racing community allows Victory to fully understand what racers need in a trailer. They have over 200 coaches and trailers in stock for a variety of industries, and they can serve anyone in the continental U.S. If you're looking for something custom, they can assist in designing a trailer that fit your needs. Check out their entire inventory online at victorycustomtrailers.com.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chase Elliott, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
Welcome back to the Inside Pass. Chase Elliott bringing us back from break. Finished second in the NASCAR race Sunday night at Las Vegas as they embark on Talladega coming up next, which is a crapshoot for everybody, as we've talked about during the course of our show. We're going to talk a little bit about F1 and IndyCar now in this segment. F1 ran, as we recorded this yesterday, but and Sochi, Russia, and pretty good race. Lewis Hamilton won his 100th F1 race. That is an incredible feat for anybody. I don't care who you are. That's a really good. Well,
Why are you booing?
But it should have been Lando.
Oh,
okay.
It should have been Lando Norris, but he decided not to take tires when the rain came, so he ended up falling behind. But
it was more than just rain; it was cats and dogs.
Yeah, it was pretty much a monsoon at that point. But in any event, like him or hate him, Tom, Lewis Hamilton winning 100 races is a feat that I don't think we'll obviously ever see again.
First of all, nobody should hate Lewis Hamilton. I just totally don't believe that should be a thing. Lewis has been amazing, and it was good to see him get that. But I will echo Chris's general thought that I feel bad for Lando, because that was one that got away, that could have been his, and it got away. However, with that being said, I cannot overstate the impact that the younger drivers have had on this year's F1, and not just Max because he's running for the title, but Lando and
George Russell.
Russell and Ocon and all of those guys have just been. Gasly's had some good runs. I mean, it's been just amazing to watch, and there's more coming, man. It's just these they're a different kind of driver.
I was talking to one of my roommates the other day, and he said, "This is the type of season you make a movie about."
Yeah.
You know, this is.
I said that a few weeks ago, honestly, I think, on the show.
Yeah, I would agree. And I just I think it's remarkable that Lewis got that win. But again, equally remarkable has been the season. And what is the championship chase? Is what, 2 points?
2 or 3.
Yeah. He overtook Max by 2
I think
points.
It's 2 points. Yeah.
I mean, they still have plenty of races left. Obviously, they went all the way to.
I love the exact number. It's 246.5 in the lead, and then 244.5 in second.
That's because of Spa, where they awarded half points.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And amazing with the penalties and different things that have happened with those two, that it's still 2 points. I mean, you're right. This is the kind of season you make a movie out of.
Can we just talk about Max having to start last because of an engine change and driving all the way up to second? I mean, oh my goodness.
Yep.
That's the day championships are made from.
I agree. Yeah, just an amazing series to watch. And, I got to see the USF4 over the weekend at Virginia International Raceway here in the southeast U.S. And again, seeing some of the future talent coming up through the ranks there. And knowing that you got guys like Oscar Piastri and Schwartzman and some of the other guys in the F2 and F3, over in, different parts of the country there, or the world, some of the other series, that, there's F1's going to have no shortage of talent for a long time. And that, to me, that's just nothing but good for interest in the F1 series. I think it's great, and I can't wait till they come to COTA here in a couple months.
Good problem to have.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
F1 also started to announce officially their Miami race. I think the tickets go on sale here in the next couple of weeks, but
they've already started. They've posted aerial shots. They've already started building it, which is pretty cool.
It's kind of a cool layout. I'm interested to see how that race is going to look in Miami next year.
Which I was going to say, that must be a pain for all the football fans, but I don't know anybody who likes Miami anyway. So.
Stop.
They're going to run through the parking lot because there's not going to be anybody there for the football game. I think it's March 22nd. I think is something like that is the date for that race. So if you're in the Florida, Miami area, want to go to the F1 race, that's probably a good race to go to. It's the first of like a 10-year deal for that facility. So we talked
I'm
about.
I'm supposed to go, but we'll see.
Oh, we'll see. That'd be cool to go, especially if they have the kind of season next year that they're having this year. It'd be really worth going. So we talked about the movie,
brand new car as well.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
making a movie about this season's things that have been going on or whatever in the season. So. Netflix has a huge kind of footprint on the F1 world. They do have a lot of documentaries on the F1 series side of things, and Tom is getting his buzzer ready because he's about to buzz what I'm about to say. But Netflix CEO Reed Hastings
got it too close to the mic.
Has came out and basically said that if the F1 rights become available, he would love to either buy the rights to air the F1 races on Netflix as a streaming service, or even buy the F1 outright as an organization. Just to be able to air those races on Netflix in a streaming service type of deal with F1. I don't know when the F1 contract ends with the ESPN. I'm assuming in the next couple of years or so it ends, so they'll start talking about that. But I know Tom's not a fan of anything being on Netflix other than documentaries and failed TV shows. But in any event,
they're not all failed TV shows.
Not all of them. Well,
I'm not dissing Netflix.
Wait, how many seasons did the crew get? One. I rest my case.
Don't like the idea of a streaming
because
service.
NASCAR makes a crappy show.
I'm just saying.
Well, that was awful.
One,
I am buzzing that. That was just a terrible show.
So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on F1 potentially airing races on Netflix?
Yeah, look, let's not downplay, and I don't think you did, the importance of the Drive to Survive series and things like that for
Not at
F1. Because it is, it's created a lot of fans for the series.
For sure.
However, I don't, when I think of Netflix, I certainly, and look, they're one of they jumped on that streaming kind of bandwagon.
They're the largest streaming platform in the world.
And they jumped on that first. They were kind of first to not first among everybody, but first major company to kind of jump on that, stream our shows and films here. But when you think of Netflix, you don't really think of streaming live things.
Correct.
And I don't think that I would, as a fan, want to log on to Netflix to stream live things like sporting events, especially with how we have it right now. I know not everybody has ESPN and ESPN2 and things like that. But the hookup, I mean, most people have ESPN. It's in most packages.
ESPN is basic cable now.
It's in most packages, but you can't hook an antenna up and get it, So I don't know. I prefer it to stay in a traditional sense, like on TV, where it's belong. And if it does go to a streaming place, I don't think Netflix is
the exact number. Like I said, Netflix is the world's largest streaming service at 200 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'd say they're
not
probably
live streaming service.
Right. Well,
I
mean,
I agree with
we've
Noah.
also heard rumors that NASCAR is looking into digital streaming, type of thing with their next TV package as well.
Well, with NBCSN going away, Peacock, I think, is going to be a huge,
at least practice
benefit.
qualifying.
Peacock already has an IndyCar race for next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and Peacock is a sports platform with, also with NBC has that sports platform, and Peacock carries a lot of sports-related programming. So that's not going to be as strange as going to Netflix, which is the word flicks. It's a place for movies and shows. It should not be a place for live streaming motorsports events, because there's a good portion of the F1 audience who wouldn't be able to have access to it because they don't. There are the older piece of that. Not all of them still have the internet, so because they just don't bother with it. So I just think that would be a real mistake to make a streaming service like Netflix the exclusive. Now, if they're carrying it on there, like NFL Network teams with CBS or Fox or whatever once in a while, if you want to do something like that, that's fine. But I just think Netflix needs to focus on telling stories, because they do that very well.
That's the oddball of the story. It's just it being Netflix,
right?
Like Tom was trying to say there. Peacock has a lot of different things, but live shows and sports is one of the things that is their kind of niche. So it's like,
well, and NBC
Netflix
owns Peacock, and they're doing
Correct.
away. They're going to Track Pass will become Peacock probably.
Right. Everything will be under
Yeah.
that banner,
Under
and
one.
it's
They're
only
not, so
NBC's
they're not keeping
broadcasting.
NBC Sports Gold.
I don't know, but probably not.
Because that's what Track Pass is NBC
right?
Sports
Probably
Gold.
not. It's probably all going to become a Peacock package deal.
I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, at least.
And then NASCAR, on the NASCAR side, we were talking about that. They're striving to stay on USA Network and stuff like that. But there's a couple of years left till they renegotiate that deal, so they could end up seeing some Peacock races.
At least Hulu has live TV. So, like, if you wanted to do Hulu, you would actually have live TV.
See, that's a streaming platform where you already have a basis and an audience that has it for streaming live TV. And
I have
things
Hulu
like that.
Live or Hulu TV,
right?
So that's my streaming service. But
American Horror Story.
Let's talk about IndyCar for a second. We mentioned Alex Palou winning the championship over the weekend in Long Beach. Scott McLaughlin won Rookie of the Year. Kudos to those guys.
Competition.
Well, but it's like winning a race with four. A win is a win. So
Jimmy Johnson beat himself.
Roman Grosjean would have won that had he raced the entire year. I have no doubt in my mind. But Roman got the bigger prize though, because he's off to Andretti for next year to replace Ryan Hunter-Reay. I hate Ryan. I hope he finds something good, man.
One of the many silly season
Colin.
things that are happening right now. Just today, Simon Pagenaud announced he's
how
going
about
to
that?
drive for Meyer Shank Motorsports, or Meyer Shank Racing.
There is the most interesting and entertaining team in
my gosh, he and Elio.
Picture, Pagenaud and Elio Castro Neves.
I want to be a part of their conversations.
Yes.
Right?
Is it too early to pick Simon for the Indy 500?
Oh, yeah, really. All we need is Max Pappas
and two guys who have
to
worked
add to
together
the team.
before.
And, I mean, it would be just entertainment overload. Yeah, you're right with Penske.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team to watch. Actually, I'm hoping Elio wins again.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't.
Every
the
Elio
victory
win
lane.
is-
It's just
And
awesome.
talking about Elio, he got heated on race day. I've never seen
Oh
him
my
that
goodness,
mad.
yeah. With a warm up,
Yeah.
After the warm up with Alexander
I didn't see that.
Rossi.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? 'Cause I'm
Basically,
curious.
Rossi was coming off
out.
pit road and cut Elio off, and then Elio was just fuming mad on TV. He
Elio-
dropped the F-bomb a couple times.
Really?
He was
There's video on
expecting
Twitter.
Rossi to give him the lane because he was coming at speed, and Rossi was like, "I'm not going to give him anything. I'm coming out of the pits and I'm getting up to speed." And I mean, Elio was was you could feel fire through the TV set of how mad he was. So he's not only a very emotional guy when he wins, but also when he's mad.
$50 says he was still smiling the whole time.
It is my goal next year to check off something off the bucket list, and that's go to an IndyCar race, and hopefully it'll be Nashville.
I hate that Richmond never got to happen again. I really would have liked to have been.
I went to IndyCar at Texas Motor Speedway, and that is just an absolute trip just to see how fast those cars are really going. Like it vibrates you walking through the parking lot. No, not since they'd done the not
so prior to the repave,
prior
the
to
reconfiguration.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, I went. But
that was
just walking through the parking lot and feeling the vibration of the cars on the track coming through the parking lot is just like mind blowing to hear just at speed how fast.
Spoiler alert: they go really fast.
They do.
They do.
Any IndyCar race that you go to would be a fun race to be at, but I've been to the Granddaddy, and once you've been to the Indy 500, nothing else
Also,
compares.
I make note of this every
back
time he mentions
again.
that he's been to the Indy 500, he fell asleep.
I did. That is correct. Yeah. About, I don't know, 10, 15 laps in just for like 10 minutes or something.
He loved it so much it knocked him out.
Well, you're up at 4 a.m. to get. We had a special parking place that the guy was with, and so ended up getting there like 5 a.m. And
I've heard the traffic outside of the track prior to the race is just not fun.
But the atmosphere makes it all worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was
else
the anticipation.
Like it was
it
was the Indy 500 weekend. Lenny Baticki was on the show, and we talked with him. He was in the studio, and we talked about the experience of being at Indy and the experience of being at Charlotte for the 600. And just how much of a difference it is, just between the pre-race show and you have to get up at 4 a.m. and get there and, endure all of the pageantry that goes with the Indy 500. So we are going to step aside and come back. When we get back, I want to pose a little bit of a question. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to pose a quick question to everybody and get their thoughts on something that's been going around social media. We're going to take a break. We'll be back more Inside Pass right after this. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park. Motorsports Sales Professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Is your job sucking the life out of you? Wake up. You can do something else. Information technology. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a math and science person. No problem, and no excuses. Because it's not rocket science, it's My Computer Career. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. mycomputercareer.edu, that's mycomputercareer.edu.
The Performance Motorsports Network is a compilation of shows about motorsports. From technical to controversial to just fun, everything you like about racing and gearhead stuff is right here on one internet channel. The Performance Motorsports Network. Tell your friends about it.
Hi, I'm Reed Sorensen. Racing has been a part of me and my family for as long as I can remember. I had to make tough choices early on to get to the top. It took hard work and dedication. but it's those tough choices that help me prepare for challenges I would face as a Cup driver. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Hi, my name's Eric Jones, and you're listening to the Inside Pass.
I like how he introduced
little NASCAR music.
Well, the whole story behind that was because Tom thought that I was just being, whatever, because I used country for Eric Jones, but I told him that Eric has a very vast array of records that are country and Western.
Well, no, I laugh because you made Chris Rice bad to the bone, which he is, but he's a country guy, and I didn't realize Eric had such a big... So I just thought it was irony, the songs you picked for which one you picked them for.
But they all fit. So
yes,
that's all
they
that
do.
I like how he introduced himself.
I know we don't have a whole lot of time. I do. There's a thing on social media now about everybody trying to get NASCAR to change the championship race from Phoenix to Bristol based on the action that happened last weekend. So I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about Bristol hosting the championship race?
Sign me up. It'd have 150,000 plus people there, and it's the best track in racing.
I agree.
I agree, and look, it gets us closer to the market. I know it's not near Nashville like that, but we're in Tennessee for the postseason stuff too. But I mean, I totally agree. Love the thought of Bristol, and I think that it'd be great if we had 3 races there if we're still going to do a dirt race. That way, 2 races are still on the concrete.
There's my answer.
Yeah.
We haven't got enough time for me to expand. So
I think we can all agree on that.
I say yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we are out of here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our thanks to Fast Pasta Anthony Alfredo and Rajah Caruth both for joining us tonight. Don't forget, in 2 weeks, J.K. Kelly will be on the show. Great author. Go check out Deadly Driver. If you haven't done so already, I'm sure you can get it off Amazon and read that book. It's going to be fantastic. I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to get home and read that book. So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend at Talladega. It's going to be a toss-up as always, but that's the fun of the races. So we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
You've been listening to The Inside Pass, powered by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. You can be an IT professional in as little as 4 months. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation test today. For more exciting and passionate motorsports content, follow The Inside Pass on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit theinsidepasslive.com. The opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, affiliates, or marketing partners of The Inside Pass. No part of this show may be reproduced in any manner without the expressed written consent of The Inside Pass. Thank you for listening.